So speaking of you being the Madden curse or whatever you want to say, the
Jet jersey curse.
The Jet jersey curse.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Jet jersey curse, speaking of the Madden curse, another question I had for you was, what was your first sports video game?
Ooh, first sports video game.
I remember mine. I'll start with mine. You think about what yours was. Mine, and maybe it's not your first.
Maybe the first experience playing one?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have to be your first game, but the one, just when I said that, what popped up in your mind, kind of.
Yeah.
Mine is NFL 2K5, I think it was. It had, ironically enough,
T.O. on the cover.
it had T.O. on the cover.
That was a Sega game, I believe.
Was
Sega
it?
made that.
I don't even. Yes, it was. I think you're. Yeah.
Because I remember the AI. I remember 2K4 with AI, which that was the one.
Yeah.
The one with the AI on the cover. Wow, how about that?
Yeah. So it was NFL. Which, by the way, why was I buying 2K NFL and not Madden? What was going on at my house? I mean, what were we going through? Hard times? Like, I don't. Why was I playing
2K football game is crazy.
Yeah. Why was I playing 2K football?
Wow.
But it had T.O. on the cover.
And it was a solid game.
It wasn't bad.
Because it had like Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. They had the whole like ESPN halftime.
Yep.
And ESPN was like a part of that game.
Yes, they were. It had it even on the cover. It had the ESPN
logo.
Yes.
Yes.
It did. So
it's a great game, man.
It was a fun game.
It was. It's an underrated football game.
Yes.
It's
kind of weird how when you think about NFL, like 2K is exclusively an NBA thing, but it's funny to think that they were, and like someone who didn't know all this stuff, to hear you saying ESPN was a part of 2K, T.O. was on the cover of 2K, it was a good game. People would be like, "Is this real?" Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Google this, like, because
Google this.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to believe that was even a thing. But ironically enough, that was my first sports, unless you count Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Wow.
Because that was my first.
That's a good one too.
That was my first like real video game experience. My older cousin used to have a PS1, and we would go to his house, and me and my cousin, and we would play. We were both younger than him, and so he would let us play Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the original, and we would play as like we had all the cheat codes, so we used to play as Spider-Man and Wolverine and all them.
It's ridiculous.
And we would make the guys really big and make them really tiny.
Who's your favorite character in the game?
In Pro Skater 1, it was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, huh?
Yeah, just because I was a kid.
Absolutely.
I was a little kid.
My favorite Pro Skater in that was like Kareem Campbell. Remember Kareem Campbell?
Of course, yes. Wow, that's a throwback.
Campbell. Kareem Campbell was the guy.
I used to like him.
Just because he was like, of course, he was he was the only black guy in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. Of course. We're not using Jeff Rowley. Or Rodney Mullen.
Rodney Mullen, that's the name I was going to bring up.
Man. Rodney
Mullen.
And I remember Chad Muska was in that game too.
Yes, that's the other one. I was trying to think of two names, and you literally just brought them up. Rodney Mullen and Chad Muska.
Chad Muska, man.
Holy smokes.
Shorties. I remember Shorties was there. That was the name of the board. He had a Shorties board.
That's insane.
No, that's a memory right there.
Oh my goodness. So what's yours?
My first
one of yours has to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh yeah, Tony Hawk is right there. My first one, I want to say, man, I played so many. See, I never played any like Grand Theft Auto or anything when I was young.
Right. So it was all sports games.
I want to say one of these NBA Lives. NBA Live, All-Star Baseball.
Okay.
Were probably my two that I played first.
Yeah.
I remember watching my dad play like Sega. He played Madden, NFL Madden 95.
Oof, classic.
And it was on Sega Genesis. And I used to watch him play it because I never knew how to play it.
Right.
And it would make like the craziest sounds when they get tackled.
Yes, yeah. It
was wild. Like the intro was crazy. I think Joe Montana was on the cover as a chief. He was a chief on that cover. But no, my first one was NBA Live, probably NBA Live 2003 or 2001.
Who was on the cover of that?
Oh my gosh. NBA Live 2003.
When was Wade? Wade was on the cover of NBA Live. What was that? 2006, I think?
06, because he came in 04. I want to say 2003 was... It wasn't Shaq. I don't know if Shaq was on the cover or Tracy. Was Tracy McGrady on the cover? It might have been it might have been Tracy McGrady. But then Derek Jeter was on 2002, like that All-Star Baseball 2002. Oh, that's a classic. It's just classic because you could play. I remember they had all this futuristic stadiums and they go on tours.
Oh, that's right.
Game. And they had a Yankee Stadium with like a retractable roof of what it would look like, the new Yankee Stadium in 2000.
They really don't do stuff like that with video games anymore. They don't. They're so like vanilla, cookie cutter.
Absolutely.
It's just the same game every year with the players on their new teams.
Yes.
It's crazy. There's no games that
we continue to buy them though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, we need the new one because actually I can play the old one, but it's just not the same.
Yeah. That's how I am with FIFA. I got FIFA right now sitting over there. I have FIFA 19 sitting over there. Yeah. And I'm like, I could play it. Yeah. I could still play it right now, and I'd still enjoy it. But I'm like, I'm not going to put that game in because there's a FIFA 20 out there.
Yes.
And I don't have it yet, but I'm not going to play this old one.
No,
because there's a new one somewhere.
No, for sure.
So I'm that way. It's weird how we're like that. We know the game is essentially the same.
The human nature stuff.
Yeah.
And I think they stopped making like real mechanical as far as animation adjustments. I swear they stopped making them probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's smoke.
They keep selling us that like it's new and it's new, like, AI and like new motion graphics. No, it's the same stuff, man.
It's smoke and mirrors is what it is.
Mirrors.
They're putting the same game out. You know what they do? They put the same game out and they put old bugs back in the game so that way they got something to fix.
Yes.
Because games always need to get fixed when they come out. That's what's happening.
That's it.
I'm pretty confident that's what's happening.
Absolutely.
All right, so before we get out of here, I think I got one more topic that we can get into. Oh, yeah, okay. So I want to talk about some firsts. We talked about it. Actually, this is perfect. Man, we're naturals at this.
He's rolling right now. I'm going to be honest, guys. Nick is rolling right now. We're going to talk about hot. He's made 5 threes in a row. And he's pulling up for 6. And we're going to see if it goes in right now.
I'll tell you what, I watched Kyrie do that one time in his rookie year, and it was in that moment where I was like, "Oh, this kid." I mean, look, everybody knew he was special. It's not like I was scouting him when he was 7, but in that game in his rookie year when he did exactly that, he was hitting 3 after 3, and I was like, "This kid's different.
Yes,
like he's just something
absolutely
out of a movie. He looked like something out of a movie."
Shout out to Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie, get healthy, man.
Kyrie,
I need you in the second half.
Kyrie,
I need you after the All-Star break.
Come on the show.
Please come on the show. Jersey, come on the show. You're local now. You're local. All right? Pop out, man. That's all it is. Yo, we'll shoot you the address. Pop out. Do it for Jersey. Do it for me. I'm a diehard Nets fan from Jersey. Let's do it, buddy.
Let's come on the show. Come on, Kyrie, friend of the show. Everybody knows that he's a friend of the show.
He's a FOT.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, he's a FOT. He's a FOT. Big time FOT of your second favorite sports podcast. But to go full circle, it's funny that we talked about that earlier on. We talked about firsts, and at the beginning of the show, we talked about I lost my train of thought so bad. See, I missed the 3. You got in my head, and I missed the 3.
No, this is what happened. You had the ball, you fumbled it. Now you just need a screen now to get your man off you so you can hit this 3.
Okay.
That's all.
I think you might have just provided the screen.
You passed it. I'm the screen setter.
Yeah, I think you're setting the screen right now.
I'm setting the screen.
You're in the process.
Yes, we're throwing you the ball. Now you just got to shoot it.
All right.
You're still hot. Don't get it wrong. Like, you're still hot.
And hey, look, this is like you say when you're playing rec league ball and you see a guy and he kind of gets down because he's missing his shots. What do you tell him? What do you tell that old timer that keeps missing? Hey, keep shooting that. Keep shooting that, big man.
Keep shooting that.
Keep shooting it.
Your best shot's your next shot.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm gonna keep shooting it.
Keep shooting it, dog.
To go full circle, we talked about literally at the open of the podcast how being first is overrated.
Yes.
We're your second favorite sports podcast.
2 is better than 1.
Exactly.
Just live by it. It's just something we're gonna say. You're gonna live by it.
A couple of firsts that I think might be overrated. First one being first row. At certain events.
Yes.
Overrated.
Very much so.
First row at a hockey game?
Oh.
You can't see anything.
You can't see nothing.
Except what's dead in front of your face. Unless it's too close, because now it's disappeared below the boards. So you don't know there's dudes kicking the puck around.
Nope.
And it's below you. You can't even see it.
First row probably is the most overrated besides basketball.
Yes.
I would say basketball for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else.
Because as Jay-Z said, you could trip a referee.
You could.
So that's
You could.
You can't say that's overrated.
No, not at all.
You have the chance that LeBron James lands in your lap.
Yes.
That's not overrated.
No, not at all.
But at hockey, football, baseball, you don't have the sight lines.
Zero.
To enjoy the game fully, and with how much you pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
To me, first row, overrated. Now, look, I'm also not a person who sits in the first row.
Very true.
I've only had so many of those experiences in my life.
Yes.
Maybe I'd feel a little different, if a fan of the show, a friend of the show, wants to let us enjoy those first row seats a little more often, hit us up.
Absolutely. First row at the Garden, like for the Rangers.
If somebody wants to swing those our way,
this is all research. This is research for the podcast.
Exactly.
That's really what that
and if you'd like to aid our research with your front row tickets at the Garden, say for next week's Rangers game or Knicks game, at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram, social media, and all that, shoot us a DM. And, if you want, we can connect about some research.
Yes.
That being said, I do think first row is overrated. Another thing that I think might be overrated, is first overall pick. I think in fantasy sports, not overrated.
Nope.
In basketball, a lot of the times, probably not overrated.
No.
But in most other sports,
absolutely,
completely overrated.
It's probably more of a burden than it is.
Yes.
Than it is really a properly rated. I mean, it's rare that you'll come across a guy who was like the 1-1 guy. Mm-hmm. But how many times have you seen the 1-1 guy, first pick overall, flame out?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just it's real.
Just to name some that we've seen or are seeing right now, Jared Goff.
Yes.
What's going on?
What's happening?
First overall pick. I mean, and it happens in basketball too, but I just think in other, hey, look, I'm wearing the exception to the rule. I'm wearing his shirt right now. Garrett Cole, first overall pick, has been, but I'll say this, even with Garrett Cole fulfilling his potential as the first overall pick, he didn't do it for the team that drafted him.
Nope. He didn't.
So it's still overrated.
It really is. Because
what did they get from it? I mean, and they made the deal and whatever, but are we sitting here going, oh, the Pirates, overall the whole Cole thing really worked out for them? No.
Nope.
No, it didn't.
We're not saying it.
Because look how much better he got when he left.
Absolutely.
So even with these exceptions to the rule, it didn't work. There's those few, like you said, that really were
Connor McDavid.
Right.
Who else was number one? I wouldn't even put a Myles Garrett in there right now.
No, not at all.
Just as far as fulfilling potential. But Greg Oden is an example. Sam Bowie is an example.
Oh my goodness. No, there's countless. That's the thing. That's why first overall is overrated.
Overrated, man.
It has to be. Here's the funny thing. Second overall might be most underrated.
It's funny to say that. Let's go over who were the best number twos. How about that?
Oh man, you could go down. There's a long list. There is a long list.
Let's start off Kevin Durant, number 2 in the draft.
There you go.
Number 2 in the draft, one of the greatest of all time.
You could even go even if you weren't looking for some generational talent. You want to talk about Jared Goff, who went right after him.
Carson Wentz.
And who's had a better career so far?
Wentz.
Even there, and Carson Wentz is not the end-all, be-all. He's not an all-timer.
Carson Wentz he's on the cusp of a top. There's a lot of great quarterbacks right now. And Carson Wentz is somewhere in there, but we wouldn't say he's... But if he went number 1, we would be killing him.
Right.
We would be killing his career right now.
Even still, worked out better than the first overall pick.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of you could go down. There's such a long list of where the second pick worked out better than the first overall pick that I think we've concluded, folks, that second is really first. If we're
way to tie it all up, this guy, you knocked it in. Listen, you banged the 3 went in. This guy's good, guys.
I'll tell you what, it's a good feeling. I'm about to go get my towel, wrap it around my head like KG, tuck it in my shirt.
Tuck it in the shirt.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go mean mug some reporters.
Yeah.
And shoot a movie with Adam Sandler. I think is what the next move is. I think after this, I'm gonna go full KG.
Full KG.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full KG. I'm gonna do a movie I'm gonna do a movie with Eddie Murphy where he is he's not a gem dealer. He's actually dealing fine china, and it's gonna be his first real serious role in a long time, and it's gonna be a big thing. So I'm going full KG. Yeah, just like he did with Adam, I'm gonna be doing the same thing with Eddie. So stay tuned for that, because look, I've peaked, and we may have peaked. I mean, I hope not.
Listen, only way we could make this real is if we traded you for a bunch of draft picks as well.
I hope not.
For the first favorite podcast.
That's true.
Can't do that.
Don't trade me to the first. Don't trade me to the first. I want to stay with the second. I'm loyal. I want to stay with the second.
Listen, who if we're talking, just to wrap it up, but number twos. Who's the best number two? We all know who the best number two is.
The best two? You talking about just the number two?
Number two.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about second. Because there's a second.
Oh, the best second
and then
fiddles?
There's a two. No, but just.
Oh, there's a one.
What's the best second? How about this one? Who is the best? Who or what in sports is the best second? So is it like the second period of something, or is it the second baseman for whoever? Like what is the best second? As a little primer for our second episode.
Ooh, yeah, guys, he's hot right now. I don't even know why we're even doing this.
You know what? I might leave that on a cliffhanger. We'll talk about that in the next episode. The best seconds in sports.
Oh.
And maybe we'll flip the meaning too. Maybe we'll talk about like some iconic seconds, some like iconic moments in time. I'll leave you with one right now.
Yeah.
Ray Allen, bang.
Ray Allen, bang. Hey, shout out to the Fordham hat too, Mike Green.
Oh, hey, look
at the Fordham hat, guys.
You can't if you listen to the audio, you can't see it, but I'm repping the Block F on my hat.
Block F for life. Shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Mike Breen.
He's a big Fordham guy. Big Fordham guy. Ryan Rucco.
Hey, we got a lineage.
Lana Del Rey. I don't think a lot of people know that. Lana Del Rey.
Denzel. I'm just saying.
Denzel.
We got a gift when it comes to talking for a long time.
Y'all do. Your basketball team's garbage, though.
Yeah, it's not something to be proud of.
Garbage.
I think the whole athletics department, there are some shining parts, but overall, yeah.
Listen, just keep crunching the numbers and keep that GPA up, guys.
That's what it is.
Keep it up. That win percentage is tough, man.
We're good at talking about it. We might not be the best at being about it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's it.
We're second best when it comes to
second best.
We actually probably not even second best. I don't know. Don't check the standings.
Don't go to the MAC standings.
No.
Or the A10. Excuse me. A10.
The A10.
A10. I don't even remember what conference they're in. Does it matter?
I don't think so.
Look, Block F is a great hat.
We just shouted out Fordham, and we did a lot of talking about people who do not play sports.
That's the truth. That tells you.
Yeah, I mean. Vince Scully, too. Shout out to the great Vince Scully.
Oh, Vince Scully, of course. He's the OG.
Absolutely. I mean, Vince Lombardi.
Wow, you guys have had some guys, man.
I'm saying. So it's there.
It's there.
I mean, shout out to Chase Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds, of course.
Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, gotta get him on the podcast.
Now I know. Hey, Chase, come on the show.
He's
friend
local
of the show.
too, right? He's not local,
but you know.
Where's he from?
I think he's from Pennsylvania. I
want
to say he's from Pennsylvania.
Local enough. You know where we're at.
Yeah.
Do it for the Block F.
Do it for the Block F. Absolutely. Maybe we'll catch him in the offseason. I don't know. We'll have to see. See, there's all kinds of things popping off here. You might see the second running back on the depth chart for your Arizona Cardinals.
You never know.
On your second favorite sports podcast.
Guys, just come on a ride with us. That's all I'm saying.
That would be so fitting if we somehow got Chase on here.
Listen, I'm all about having a bunch of number twos on here.
I think in college he might have wore 22. I'm not even kidding. I could be totally wrong. We're going off the rails now. We're going off the. This is like at the end of the game when you're winning by a lot and you let the bench guys just go out there
empty the bench,
and they just start shooting like Ronaldo Balkman shooting threes. What's going on?
Ronaldo Balkman.
I've been in the garden for some of those nights.
Oh my guy, it's been a pleasure, man.
It has been a pleasure. This has been good, and we hope that you will tune in for the second episode of your second favorite sports podcast, which will be dropping sometime, I'm going to say in March. Will be the second. This one will come out in February.
We're going to let this one breathe a little bit.
Absolutely. And what's going to happen, just so we're clear on the procedure of this. If you're listening to the audio version, you'll be able to find the YouTube version on YouTube video, and it will be broken down into 3 parts. So stay tuned. Part 1 will drop at the same time as the audio. The full audio will be available on SoundCloud. So if you're listening to that, head over to youtube.com, and that's where you'll be able to find the video version of the podcast if you want to look at my Block F hat on my head and my Garrett Cole shirt.
For sure.
And then shortly after that, we'll drop part 2 of episode 1 and then part 3 of episode 1.
Beautiful.
And then hopefully the goal is by the week after that, episode 2 will be coming out. So that's the timeline we're kind of on.
Nice.
Audio will come out with part 1 of the video, and then the next week, if you're still chomping at the bit for some content from your boys,
if you're hungry, guys.
If you're hungry for some content, part 2, part 3 will follow after that.
Beautiful. And
then also we'll be posting stuff and updates. Go follow us at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. Stay tuned to Instagram. We're not doing the Twitter. You don't need us on Twitter. Go look at funny memes on Twitter. You don't need us, and go look at Woj dropping bombs.
Trades that could have happened that never happened.
Yeah,
go check that out.
Go look at that. You don't need to be reading our tweets, but check us out at Second Favorite Sports. Second spelled out, not the letter, not the number 2, but
Very
the
important.
word.
Very important.
The word second, and all the links too will be in the description of whatever you are listening to or watching. So if you go down in the description of the YouTube video, you'll be able to go to the SoundCloud, and if you're on SoundCloud, you'll be able to go down and click a link to go to YouTube and our Instagram. But I think that's it, Trent. I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Our pleasure, man. Always.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So stay tuned for episode 2 of your
Second Favorite Sports Podcast.
Second favorite. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it.
Thanks for watching, y'all, and listening.